Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. Okay, I'm tired. Yeah, when I get goofy. Um, I've been up most all nights, every night for the last 5 nights in a row. Not good, but it's fun. 6:30 or so this morning. So anyway, I was madly getting this done because I don't have but a couple hours of daylight, but I thought I should stop and do a video. This is called cooking, but I'm not cooking food. I'm not cooking meth. I'm not cooking whatever else you cook. I'm cooking firewood. I showed you that before. So that's wet. That's wet. Totally wet. I put my last piece in about 3 or 4 hours ago. So, yeah. There's my footstool. No, it's not square. It's not flat. But it works okay because it flattens out when I put my feet on it. My trash bag. I tie it tight. Yeah, I mean, it's just like crammed. That's my backstock for now. Just anything I don't want at the moment. Chuck's back there. The winter I stayed here 2 winters ago, the coconut boxes, they're like banana boxes, but they're for coconuts. They're not quite the same dimensions. It would be nice if they were, because then the lids would be interchangeable. You put the bottom part inside the top, and then you have a really good firewood box. And I would have 10 of those stocked up in here at all times. Money in the bank. Money in the bank. So, hey, here's my, I call this my $10,000 sweater. Alpaca from Ecuador. My partner went there and several times, quote-unquote missionary trips, and some people can guess that it's an alpaca sweater. I don't know. They're very perceptive. The zipper was broken, so he gave it to me and bought another one, a brand new one, for like $500 or whatever it cost him. He didn't care because it was, free money. No, he worked hard, but, when the 5th year, I'm going to read a book by Stephen Jones. You might look it up. The Laws of Trees and Dung, I believe is the name of it. And there's another one called The Wheats and Asses of Pentecost. I'm going to read that one. Jonathan and Zadok by Bill Britton. The other ones are all Stephen Jones. But that insignia, that emblem, was my research. The name Tuning Element was my research. I said, it's got to be musical, it's got to be musical, it's got to be musical. And we went over it 100 times, brainstormed, and finally I came up with it. Tuning element. Double tuning elements, transmitting frequency from the earth to man. And so anyway, and I'm doing now research on the most brainest, deadest, cheapest, dumbest way to imprint frequency and things. So I'm working on that. And I'm going to give it to the world. This man has had about 5 years of theft from Yahweh as far as I'm concerned, and it's time for it to be over. If he's still in business, I don't really know, and I don't really care. But the end of the world's going to come down hard on him because he does not care about homeless, and I don't know. It's all right. Enough of that. It's just I saw that and I thought, that's my $10,000 sweater, and here's my showed you the other day about my $10,000 bracelet. $500 bracelet. It was free. It only cost me 5 years of my life. So $500 for 5 years. $5,000 a year. No, $5,000 a month. All right. Anyway, enough glamoring. Okay, so I want to get out here. I have to move the grate to get in. If I want to do something, I got to move something, and if I'm going to do something else, I got to move it back to where it was. And the little fold-up table that are very convenient because it's collapsible, sets up real quick. The bed is covered with stuff, the chair and boxes. We're here, and I went shopping and got some really awesome things for 25 cents an item. Medical things, all kinds of crap. So anyway, what I'm doing here, this is my woodshed. And you don't want to be taken out to this woodshed because you might not come back. Anyway, I got some wet wood, the bigger pieces. So I'm going to throw them in there to let them pre-dry. The sun will cook them off if it ever comes back out. And then in exchange for them, I'm going to take a couple of the cured dry pieces, and I'll probably do a test cut with them on the chainsaw, with the chainsaw. But I want to figure out why that thing, it did not splatter oil on the box, and that is not cool at all. So I need to read up on that. I'm going to troubleshoot that because I don't want to go through even one of those. It would just, heat the blade up, the bar and the chain, burn them up, destroy them. So I'm not going to do it until I figure that out. Alrighty. And I would say I've been watching videos on electric chainsaws. Without question, and I'm going to watch Stanley Dirt Monkey Genetic, Genadek, Genetic, whatever. He's a landscaper. I was about to watch one where he was going to test the Stihl, and I think Makita or Milwaukee. Go with people who have made chainsaws forever. Okay, so Husqvarna probably has an electric. I know they have an electric one. Yes, Stihl's electric is probably the best one out there. I watched two other guys that both do landscaping, but they're not into tree cutting. But they tested speed, power, and everything else, smoothness. Stihl was hands down the best. I think a close second was Milwaukee. Milwaukee's made tools forever, and they should be able to make a good one. They've done some awesome tools. So if Rigid made one, I would go for that. But right now, as far as I know, Stihl is the best electric. If you want to do anything serious, you need to get something real. If you're just going to cut a limb down here and there, or maybe you have it in the car, so if you live on a country and you need to cut a tree to get the road clear, this works would be great. If you're going to cut any firewood, no way. I wouldn't even think about it. And another thing you got to think about is you're going to have to replace a bar now and then. You're going to have to really replace your chain. You're going to have to buy more chains. Even a gas saw, some people have 10, 15, 20 chains. Bill has probably 30 of them between him and John. So probably 40. So you got to have chains. And I'm thinking, where do I buy a Works chain? I've never seen them on eBay where I bought this. Bar, not. You have to buy a whole new saw. So in that sense, unless there gets to be a supply where some company is supplying parts, batteries, charger, they can get all those from them, it's a disposable saw. You break it, you buy another one. So just keep that in mind when you're buying stuff like that. The Stihl electric parts will be there forever. Stihl will supply parts. Husqvarna, they will supply parts. You'll be able to buy a bar, you'll be able to buy a chain, you'll be able to buy, and probably from any number of 100, maybe 1,000 companies around the world. But in the case of all these other ones, Milwaukee, Oregon would, they're a chainsaw. DeWalt and Milwaukee have pretty good saws, but they're not great electric saws. They're not great, but they're good enough. But where are you going to buy parts? Where are you going to buy a bar? Where are you going to buy chain? Where are you going to buy oiler? This and that and the other thing. Replacement brushes for the motor. Get a brushless one if at all possible. Makita does brushless stuff. You don't have any brushes to replace after 2,000 hours or 1,000 hours. They're not going to burn up, so they're magnetic. All right, that's it. I'm done. Bye-bye. Hasta la vista, baby. Over toward El Dorado, they had a lot of ice. We were over there in the afternoon. Bright sunshine. Pretty nice day. Nothing melted. And they already had heavy ice, and it rained last night. So I'll bet you there's going to be some broken branches over toward El Dorado Springs. And it's El Dorado. It's not El Dorado. It's El Dorado. Beat it in your head. Learn how to pronounce things locally. El Dorado, Monette, Versailles, Arnaquis, Lebanon. Not Lebanon. It's Lebanon. It's not Arnica. It's Arnaquis. Anyway. All right. Just some words to the wise. Sidle in there and listen to talk before you open your mouth. Wise man, keep your mouth shut. And be thought a fool rather than open his mouth and remove all doubt. There you go. All right, this is Jerry Diamond, How to Get Out of Babylon. You're the remnant if you're listening to me. Bye-bye.